Any sort of stress that you have in your life, any sort of difficult situation you have going on in your life right now, or something maybe isn't materializing the way that you think it should, I want you to take a breath right now and just let go of that.
Speaking like that, where you sit there and you say, don't fear anything because it's not real, okay? That's dangerous, okay? I want you to have faith in God, okay? Okay, God gave you life, and Jesus gave you commands: forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. Are you living those commands right now? Okay. Then the pain that people feel when they're being abused by not being able to live those commands is very real, and we all feel it, and we all have to share that abuse. Okay. So when a cocky kid like this starts talking like he's me, right? You want to tell him, you do know you're reading comic books and debating comic books and telling people how to properly read that comic book, right? Like the stuff they do with Krishnamurti. Remember when they do all that stuff? If you go listen to people that are namaste and Buddhist and all that, and I'm not going to let anything disturb my namaste. Then you go listen to Krishnamurti and they ask him a question. The Klindi of yoga, he goes, it's not a Klindi. I mean, well, Klindi is a word like karma that they invent to manipulate people with magic, right? He says what happens when you do yoga is you have brain chemicals that you're doing healthy things for your body, and then the brain chemicals that are released from that make you have like a euphoria feeling, or if you feel better because you've done something good for your body, and then the brain chemical reaction rewards you, right? And so you've got to understand when you're dealing with people like this, okay? This is a person who's excessive and compulsive, and he's a snake oil salesman. And this is biological conditioning and psychological conditioning over tens and hundreds of thousands of years. And a lot of people buy the bullshit. Like, remember that story I told you about that I read in Mary Sanis's book, but Little Hawk corrected the true story to me. Little Hawk and High Hump, okay, went out together. They would go out in different parties and stuff like that. And He Dog and Crazy Horse went together, and High Hump went with Little Hawk. Little Hawk was the smallest of the group, and High Hump is the dude, He's badass, right? And everybody knows it, right? If you ask people, whoa, as far as vision and athletic ability and all that stuff, but as far as the dude that, oh shit, that's High Hump, that's a big ass, big, he can grab 4 crow and knock the horse out, he's just that type of dude, okay, just big. His name's High Hump, he's a big man, and he's a strong man, but he's protecting, and he gets his energy and his strength from being eternally protecting. He knows this. That's his eternal spirit telling him, that you won't be this strong, you won't be this protecting if you're a bully and you're selfish and you don't protect the children. You get the energy from protecting the old people and the children, is what High Hump told Crazy Horse. He's like, and then Little Hawk, oh yeah, that makes sense, right? Like Samson. Okay. And there's a story in the book. And the story in the book, I was like, why did he put the bullet in his teeth? Why didn't he listen to the shaman? He got killed because he didn't obey the shaman, right? And that wasn't true. When they were riding out to go into battle, Little Hawk tells him, he goes, their little voodoo guy said, if you do this, you're going to die. So that means one of the people in our group is going to kill you. One of them's going to snipe you. They're going to shoot you today. And he goes, yeah, I know. And he goes, what am I going to do about it? Do you know which one it is? No. Do you? I have some ideas, but if I kill them because I think they're going to kill me, I act like the little witch doctor who gives you, I act like Warren Buffett and Alan Greenspan's an idiot, and I'll tell you why, and all these people on YouTube. It's the 4 horsemen of the Last of the Apocalypse, and here's what's going to happen. I predicted the war, and I predicted the COVID, now I'm predicting the hantavirus. It's like, oh, wait, you're still doing fucked up shit, stimulating economies through archaic things, and people are driving around in archaic vehicles and mass murdering people or patrolling for the archaic vehicles, and you predict that nature will produce toxins that kills the people that are causing the toxins that are killing nature. Wow, you're a fucking genius. God damn, how smart are you? Fuck, what can we do without your fucking brain? A lot. Because they're giving you predictions and they're fucking with you and they're scaring you to manipulate you to make you do what they say you should do instead of explaining to you why you should do it, why it's right, and why it's good. Like High Hump and Little Hawk, instead of Mary Sanders with all the voodoo witch doctors still sharing their stories that they sell, because you got to come and they will sell you their last bow and arrow for beer money, right? So you see how these motherfuckers are? And you can't get mad at them. This is the way they've been. This is their survival mode for 10,000 years, right? You can't get mad. You just tell them, you do know that ain't them dogs' real voices. The La Brea Tar Chaps, you wouldn't think the dinosaurs would be so close to town, would you? Right? You're funny. I know. Okay. So you got to understand, the only person that can to protect this person from this person is that person, right? That's the only person that can protect him, okay? I could mention him in this video and then tag him in this video, and he could watch this video. And unless he's capable of being humble enough to understand a living Messiah instead of debate comic books with the Vatican, which is a bank that's one of the biggest mass murdering organizations in the history of the world. And I'm not making that up because Holy Crusade's Batman, right? That's the same corporation. It wasn't dismantled and put back together. It's still, that's the building. That's where they get together. That's where Mussolini discussed with the priest who won the Nobel Prize during World War II, which dredge of society you want me to kill and liquidate their assets to clean up your mess. And the guy won a Nobel Peace Prize from it because it's like, oh, kill all the gypsies and the Jews. Nobody likes the gypsies and the Jews. They're the Christ killers and they're the thieves. So kill all them. And that's what Mussolini did. Okay? And then the people were happy because they didn't have to, they could liquidate all the Jews' assets because they were all in foreign assets because of the Supreme Court jokes written down on pieces of paper that are laws like photosynthesis and gravity given to us by the glory of God, right? Okay. So you got to understand how people work. When they think they're saying something intelligent because they read it from a comic book and their family's debated comic book for before the Bible was written, okay? Before the Bible was written, okay? And remember during John Calvin's time and all that stuff, if you teach people wrong doctrine, they'll be sent to hell forever. It's like eternal wretchedness means children will inherit hell on earth if you teach people wrong thoughts, words, and actions. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. You don't understand science and the books that the people that understand science that are religious, that save people from scientists in the future, that talk to us in the past but get turned into comic books, and which they do now, right? Trust me, I am the light, I am the way, none unto the faith of Father Jesus except unto me, none unto the faith of Father Muhammad except unto me, none unto the faith unto Father Haile Selassie except unto me. Okay. The living word, and Stanford University has studied this, and now it's become a psychological profile, biological conditioning, and this is Paul Harvey. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm being obnoxious, but you see what I'm saying? And so, you guys remember that? You guys, you know, all the guys in the Quorum of the 12, a lot of you were there when I was in Phoenix, back at the turn of the millennium. And I was sick and had allergies, and it drove me nuts. And I said, I don't think it's the plants. I think it's the plants reacting to the pollution. Because when I lived in Mesilla in New Mexico, I didn't have allergies like this as a kid, but I do here now. Okay. And I think it's just the plants reaction to, because the plants are coming in, the pollutions, and the pollution gets, the pollution's horrible in the wintertime in Phoenix. It's a death trap. Okay, because there's no plants to try to. It's horrible. You don't do that to plants, and then people, and then no wonder people are all. You have oxygen, and you have this thing. You got portable oxygen. You go into the plants, and the plants are putting out chemicals for survival of the fittest, and they see it as natural selection. And it's like, just because your brain don't work too good and you live longer because you're more sexually and violently aggressive and you've been this way over tens and dozens of hundreds of thousands of years, doesn't mean you're a better person than the kind person who's on the oxygen sitting on the bench being killed by your economic activities that are genocidal idolatry, right? Hopefully, Mr. What's this kiddo's name here? What's his little name? I'm not listening to him. Elmer O'Locklear Jr. Did you have any relatives that used to play football at the University of Washington? Because there's a kid named Locklear who played at the University of Washington. He was a pretty good football player. Yeah. I don't know. I know he's not in Washington because he's walking around in a place full of palm trees. So was it Locker? It's Locker. Yeah. Yeah, it was Locker. He played didn't he play quarterback? Yeah, he's real fast, real athletic, real good ball player. Yeah. I remember. Yeah. University of Washington. Well, I lived in Washington for about 3 years. And Warren Moon was one of my favorite, and the throwing Samoan, Jack Thompson, the throwing Samoan, yeah, two of my favorite football players when I was growing up. Yeah. Beano Bryant, Steve Entman, that was one of the baddest. He had injury problems. Athletically, he was amazing, okay? He was huge and strong and could bale hay like you never saw and all this stuff, but he'd get hurt. Yeah, he was the dominant factor of Washington's, Don James's, he was what made us elite above everybody else. Steve Entman, he was from Washington. Big kid, strong, fast, agile. He had like this Achilles. Yeah, I think maybe it was his Achilles. I can't remember. But he had this lower leg problem that would get injured real easy. And the other teams would go for it. And you take Entman out of the game, you can beat these guys. Okay. And they'll do it. Like the Golden State Warriors, stepping under Kawhi Leonard's leg when he took the jump shot, sweep the leg. Cobra Kai, Koala Kai, it's all about money. Oh shit, we suck again. Idolatry, right? And so it's horrible. But saying things like these people say, that's like that namaste bullshit that they say. It's making up words. It's making, it's all just an illusion. It's no, don't be afraid. God has a plan for you. No, that's not true. Okay, God's omniscient, omnipotent. God's not a human being. God doesn't have a plan for you. God doesn't own Wall Street. God doesn't do insider trading info for Martha Stewart to sell you, corporate guacamole in a jar and have Snoop Dogg sell you that with hemp cookies and shit. Hell no. Hell, I only know, but hell no. Okay, God does not have a plan for your life. God is the essence of all existence, and all that we need to exist through faithfully loving one another through holy covenants, okay, is provided when we understand humbly the infinite glory of God and an eternal existence through holy covenants. Be fruitful, multiply, have faith in God, and teach the barbarians not to, make up comic books and buy comic books over money so you don't get commercials like this, right? You know what I'm saying? So I've been saying it for a long time. That used to be Datsun. It was a green Datsun that Martin Barreras drove me down to Las Cruces High School and tried to explain to the football coach, this is the state title. And this is he's the best athlete in all. The reality of orphan elders. What's going on? What all things Ron? What Ron's talking about? What he's talking about is becoming wards of the state and being maneuvered about the country for logistics for brain chemical addiction operations and orphan elders. You don't really have a family. My dad, he does. They call, Last night in the barn, it's like, what? Tontines, insurance policies, and I don't know about any of this stuff. Don't want to know. I don't know anything. Money's a human invention for the evil to get the stupid to try to be successful at being evil. That's all I know. That's all I know. Right. So I don't want to know anything about tontines and insurance policies and old insurance policies and things like on Barney Miller and stuff. I don't need to know any of that shit. That's none of my business. That is none of my business. If there's 5 people make an agreement and one's left and that one person gets all the thing that they all put into, I don't want to know, and I don't care to know. I just want to stand up and live the Lord's Prayer, Hasta aquí hoy, right now, right? That's all I want. That's why I've been getting my balls beat into the dirt and being deprived of affection, intimacy, romance. I don't get the association. Today is the day, sunrise, sunset. What you're born with is what you get all. I don't know, I need so little, yet so much, Children's sweet laughter, woman's touch. Kids love me and I love kids. And I'm one of the best fathers in the history of the world. And the military and the Mormon Church and the Vatican and the Church of Scientology and all those assholes that have contracts with the government to invade people's houses. No, they know beyond any reasonable doubt. If Tom Cruise is as important as Dave Miscavige's ego and penis, then Tom Cruise knows, yeah. God, what an asshole. You really suck. I see like Rhea Remini doesn't like you. What a jerk. Sheesh. If Leah Remini didn't, see inside my house and you just told her about it, and you guys threaten to kill her and her family if she tells anybody about me, then I really like Leah Remini. Boy, you're cute. I want to flirt with you on the beach at a hotel in the 80s and just tell, get out of here. Oh, go get locked up in somebody's basement in a TV thing that you would go, your TV show in the future. Go do that. Just kidding around. I'm being facetious. I'm time traveling. I'm Sam. No, is it Sam? What was the name of that? Remember that Quantum Leap TV show? That's so stupid. It's based off of stuff they kind of do. It's called switchers. They plug people into computers, and then they can focus the program on that person, and then the person that's plugged into the computer can direct them to do what's wanted for the narrative, for the plan, they told me about it in Sierra Vista. I did not know until they told me. I would not dream this stuff up. I don't think this stuff. I used to get bored. Amy would watch those shows all the time. Everybody would watch all the TV shows. I just wanted to watch sports, enjoy my kids, and have sex with my wife. That's all I was interested in. I'm lazy. I'm an idealist. I get people killed according to computer programmers and mass murderers in Cochise County. Everybody's paying attention to you and talking to you, and it's making it real hard for us to use our technology to mass murder Chinese with our technology. And I get it. Okay. I wasn't plugged in because in India, Japan, and China, okay, they've had ethnic cleansing and selective breeding for tens of thousands of years to such an innate degree, to such an insane. Sheldon Cooper, it's too bad it's oatmeal day and throw the French toast in the trash. That it was real easy to make sure they had the right one plugged in to manipulate all the people with their godhead, with their Buddha, their Confucius, their swordsman of Japan, their samurai, their shogun, right? With me in the West, the West has their stuff all fucked up, and it's a good thing we did. Okay, but life's eternal and grace is infinite. Where all the good people, all the righteous work together, and so it worked out that way for a reason. And if you read all the stories in the books and all the religions, it's Earl, the guy born of Ralph and Mary in the Valley of the Shadow of Death. That's the focal point of living human beings that are not plugged into a computer. If you can understand the Matrix movies, and if you've read a book and you can understand Buddhist and Hindu and Shinto prophecy, right? Life's eternal grace is infinite. We're all connected through infinite glory. The reality of orphan elders, golly, it has begun. Millions are starting to lose interest in everything. And it's, okay, poor baby. Yeah, I'm 86, no excuses. The normal morning habit of ruining your body. There's an excessive compulsive psychopath telling you to act like him. Okay. Do you understand? Don't do it. Okay. Exercise and be healthy, guys. I have to change my behaviors this summer to get people through. The reason why I was so depressed, because they took my 2 wives and put them into Phoenix and killed them with economic behavior and pollution like they did my mother. And the kids are in large metroplexes through this, addicted to the same brain activity as the mothers, because the government made sure that the mothers got the children and I had no influence or money to have any influence on my children, because money's real and we all need it to fuck each other. Hi, I'm 86. There's no excuses. The normal morning habit is ruining your body. Oh, shut the fuck up. I'm not 60 yet, but when I turn 60, I'm still going to tell you to shut the fuck up unless you stand up for the Lord's Prayer with me right now. Okay. It's begun. The last man standing. Earl, you're funny. Hey, I don't make the news. I just report it. The future is not looking good. Why? Maybe you should stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Quit manifesting and make a fortune. Be fortunate enough to stand up to live the Lord's Prayer. We are not okay. Everyone's pretending to be fine. I don't pretend to be fine. I tell everybody I'm tolerable till we're living the Lord's Prayer. Okay, you understand? So don't include me in your we. Okay. Huge reset tomorrow. The new Fed chair's plan to reset the entire money system. And if money was real, we'd all need it to live, like an apple from a tree or water falling from the sky. Spot the evil instantly. A person with an evil heart shows their traits. Chase, that's probably like a CIA expert. Listen to him if he's saying live the Lord's Prayer. If he's not, tell him, hey, you don't need to get a job. You just need to live the Lord's Prayer. That's your job. It will be over soon. Record number of Americans have stopped paying their bills. Are you aware that you've just joined the top 1%? Get ready now. They're about to trigger the wealth transfer. The wealth transfer. Oh, really? Everybody's gonna be like me and Haile Selassie? And love their family because they're living the ways of the Messiah? That's my wealth, is my family, you know. They're going to do that, so they're going to make sure that Parsons trends worldwide tomorrow? That'd be nice. Thank you. He's a Sikh. It's a Sikh who says that. That's a Sikh turban. Isn't that a Sikh turban? I think he's a Sikh. Minority mindset, a Sikh. Nanak Dev of you. Thank you. Okay, do you know who Nanak Dev is? He might be. He's a guy in a book. He's a cartoon character. We debate him. The FBI and Socrates. Only 17 sentences matter. The same 17 sentences. God damn, these people are insane. They hid the truth. Okay. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. They hid the truth. How can you hide life is eternal and grace is infinite? I'm trying to make money here. They hid the truth. Okay. What really happened in the Garden of Eden. This will shock you. Okay. They hid the truth. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. They're hiding the truth. It's under your bank account. Your diploma and your PhD are not real. You don't want to sell me death sticks. Use the Force, Luke. Don't kill Darth Vader. You'll be unemployed. What would happen if no one worked? We'd all starve to death and we'd all be unhappy and cuss each other out. If we just stopped working. Okay, guys, work is doing what's needed to sustain a healthy life provided by natural laws. Okay, money's an invention for the evil, for stupid people to try to be successful at being evil. Gosh damn! Maybe tomorrow the technology. What was that one? Who was the one who said that? Where is it? Get ready now. They're about to trigger the biggest wealth transfer in... Okay, I'm just being facetious because he's wearing a turban. Yeah. Oh, look, it's Alan Watts. Everything has a reason, Alan Watts. Everything happens for a reason. A Buddhist reflection. Yeah, but when you understand that everything happens for a reason, and some people are being selfish cows and will abuse you with technology, that reflection sucks, right? I get it, and I like Alan Watts, but you got to understand, though, that's not Alan Watts. That's Alan Watts' ghost given to you by a corporation that wants to make money off of you listening to Alan Watts. Yeah, God damn, you're dumb. Hi, I'm gullible. Does Andy Samberg know who I am? It's almost time for school. Do I look sexy enough to be kissed by somebody cute and then maybe, get naked and touch your body parts that are forbidden parts, according to a song by Conway Twitty, named after a city in Texas and a town in Texas and a city in Arkansas. Yeah. I consider Conway a city. It's about 60,000, has a major university, Central Arkansas. So I consider them a city. As a matter of fact, they're ugly gray and purple field, which should be green grass, and have cheerleaders with hair of gold and lips like cherries. It's Arkansas. You can have girls with hair of ebony and lips like cherries. They'll both be very pretty. Different strokes for different folks. So on and so on. Scooby Dooby Dooby, right? Breaking news: something big happened at Skinwalker Ranch 2026. And I want you to trend this video because I need more money because I'm insane. Okay. Try not to be insane and don't ask for money. It's human invention and it's quite insane. It's really nutso. Retiring now. When's your next... Retire from what? Could you retire your perception of value of money and competition and conflict over it so we could all live the truth of the Messiah and live the Lord's Prayer now? Hi, I'm the Messiah and I have a plan. What's the plan? Let's obey Jesus, who gave us perfect commands to not kill each other over idolatry and accept a republic of mass murderers as the line of Christ. Hey, Christ line! We just cut off your credit line. Oh, no Christ line for my credit line. I think they've taken Christ and copyrighted and turned it into a money-making scheme for a Ponzi scheme. I don't know what that means. What's a Ponzi scheme? Do you guys know? I know a lot of you know, but I don't. I don't pay attention to a lot of words they invent when I'm sitting there going, money ain't real, right? You are God's secret agent. Okay, you're living a life of danger. Yeah, well, don't have sex with any women. They'll try to kill you. Especially Jasmine Guy. She has a little pearl-handled gun under her pillow. Okay, Kid Ray? Or is it Sugar Ray? I can't remember. Okay, guys, I love you so much. The downfall of women. When they become a prostitute to money and they become the world's first profession. If they stand up like Ruth and Esther for the Messiah, then they can get back up. First, you don't succeed, pick yourself up and fall again. Don't be the queen of damned. How should Christians view the body? As a temple for the soul. Okay, next page. Don't trend him, don't give him money. The truth behind fasting. There's many truths to fasting. Fasting is different now than it was back then because you have more toxins, chemical toxins in the environment than they did back then. So fasting sometimes can be deadly for you because you don't have anything to help get the crap out of the body and remind you that you're still alive. So be careful about fasting, guys. It could be very physically detrimental to you as well as emotional and psychological too. Okay, so if your wife's bitching at you about it, she might be more intelligent than you because she's a woman and you're a man and you're a hunter-gatherer and she has to make sure the kids are safe. Just let go. It's already on its way. That's Elmer O. Locklear Jr. again. Okay, these people are cute, but they're crazy. Cain and Abel, they never told you. Cain and this guy... And everything, it's all computer. It's like, I know they make computers presently and in the future, and life's eternal and grace is infinite. It's happening inside you now. Holy Jihad, Batman. Wow, maybe if these people could actually comprehend what they were reading and understand human invention cannot replace God's creation. Well, that's Elmer Locklear again. Okay, it's the same kid. He's just repackaging and remarketing himself. Oh, no, he's doing that was 3 days ago and one's 2 weeks ago. Jesus and Neville Goddard. They were both right. No, Neville Goddard is not Jesus, guys. Okay? Jesus is Jesus. And Neville Goddard does things for money. And Jesus told us forgive debt and trespass and love one, eternal faithful peace. Said Neville said Jesus wasn't real, but Jesus existed. Okay. Guys, just stop doing things for money online. I implore you. Don't vote for president. Stand up. Don't vote for anybody for money. The Elon Omar girl, she's in a corrupt system, and it's all a scam. So yeah, she was going to get caught up in that scam, and it was going to involve her, and it was going to be like a snowball rolling down Mount Everest that was completely out of control, and she just couldn't get the fuck out of the way. I'm not making excuses for her. We talked the other day. I'm just trying to help her out because she talked to me in prayer the other day. Okay. When you talk to me in prayer, I'll try to help you out if you'll listen. If you don't listen, I can't help you. Maybe you might want to take the hip job off and let your hair. Hi, it's me, Antenna, it's Early Bird. All you need is a library card. Okay. YouTube, 13/22 me for all the Muslims being mass murdered in the Middle East because I care. I really, really care. Sun is shining, there's plenty of light. Okay, peace out.